You've probably heard it a million times in crypto. This token has amazing utility. It sounds great, right? It sounds like a surefire sign of a good investment. But here's a secret that many people miss. Utility alone does not create value. Many tokens are used every single day on their platforms, and yet their prices just keep going down. How is that possible? In TSBDO, we're going to uncover what truly gives a crypto token value, and why so many popular, high-utility tokens fail to deliver for investors. This is a critical lesson. As an investor, you have to understand the massive difference between a token being used and a token being valuable. That difference is explained by tokenomics. Let's break it down. When someone talks about token utility, they're talking about the token's job. What is it used for? This could be anything from paying transaction fees on a network, to accessing a special service, participating in governance votes, or even staking to earn rewards. Utility explains why a token exists in the first place, but it does not explain why its price should be higher tomorrow than it is today. And here's the uncomfortable truth that catches so many people off guard. A token can be absolutely essential for its platform, used thousands of times a day, and still be a terrible investment. Why? Because in many cases, users acquire the token, use it for its intended purpose, and then immediately sell it. Think about it. If you need a token just to pay a quick fee, you're not going to hold on to it afterwards, are you? You'll swap it back for something else. This creates constant selling pressure. In this scenario, high usage actually works against the price, because every use case ends with a sale. There's no reason for anyone to hold it long term. This brings us to the most important concept you need to learn today. Value capture. Value capture is the mechanism that directs the value created by a platform back to the token and, ultimately, to its holders. For a token's price to increase over the long run, there needs to be a reason for value to accumulate in the token itself. So, how does that happen? Well, at least one of a few things must be true. First, holding the token needs to provide some kind of tangible benefit beyond its basic utility. Second, the demand for the token has to grow faster than its supply. Or third, the protocol has to be designed to specifically reward long-term holders over short-term users. If all the value generated by the platform flows only to the users, the developers, or the project's treasury, then the token holders are left with nothing. Their investment becomes stagnant or even declines. Strong tokenomics, on the other hand, creates powerful incentives to hold the token, not just use it and dump it. These incentives can take many forms. It could be attractive staking rewards that are sustainable. It could be giving more governance power to those who hold more value or lock their tokens for longer. It could be sharing a portion of the protocol's revenue with token holders, either through direct payouts or through a buyback and burn mechanism, which reduces the total supply and makes the remaining tokens more scarce. Or it could simply be a very controlled supply schedule where inflation decreases over time. Without these holding incentives, investors are essentially just temporary liquidity providers. They buy the token, maybe provide some liquidity, but there's no compelling reason to stick around for the long haul. So, when you're analyzing a potential investment, ask yourself a very simple question. Who benefits the most from this protocol's success? Do the users who transact and leave benefit more than the long-term holders? Do the project insiders and early venture capitalists benefit disproportionately more than the public community? Does the platform's growth actually translate into financial rewards for the people who invest in its token? If you can't find clear and convincing answers to these questions, you're looking at a higher risk investment. Good tokenomics provides that clarity. Another classic beginner mistake is to fall for the simple narrative. If the network grows, the token price will go up. That sounds logical, but it's not always true. Sure, network growth is great. It increases usage, it improves adoption, it brings more eyeballs to the project. But if the token's value isn't directly connected to that growth, the price can remain flat or even fall while the platform thrives. Ask an investor. You want the value to flow to the token, not just circulate around it. The token itself must capture a piece of the success it helps create. So, what are some red flags you should watch out for? First, be cautious if the token's utility is vague or is easily replaceable. If the token's job could be done just as easily by Ethereum or a stablecoin, its long-term necessity is questionable. Second, Is the token actually required? Some projects tack on a token that feels forced, where the platform could function perfectly fine without it. This is often a sign that the token exists purely for fundraising. Third, does the utility scale with growth? If a platform's revenue doubles, does that create double the demand or value for the token? If not, the link is weak. And finally, be very wary of rewards that are purely if staking rewards are just new tokens being printed out of thin air, you're not actually earning anything. Your share of the network is just being diluted. It's like getting a raise, but then finding out the company printed twice as much money. The strongest, most durable tokens in the crypto space are the ones that get this balance right. They combine genuine, undeniable utility with clear and effective value capture mechanisms. They have balanced incentives that reward all participants fairly, and they maintain a controlled, predictable supply. These are the projects that attract users who need the token for its function, and investors who want to hold the token for its potential growth. Finding this perfect combination is rare, but when you do, it's incredibly valuable. Understanding the difference between simple utility and true value capture is what separates successful long-term investors from short-term speculators. It is about looking past the hype and analyzing the mechanics of how a token is designed to appreciate in value. Now that you have a solid grasp on utility and value, we're ready for the next piece of the puzzle. In our next video, we're going to do a deep dive into staking, rewards, and incentive design. We'll break down exactly how staking works, how to tell when rewards will actually help a token's price, and how to spot when those same rewards are just quietly diluting your investment. This is an area where so many people get misled by high APYs, so you won't want to miss it. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can continue the series with us. In Part 7, we'll analyze staking and rewards to help you protect and grow your long-term returns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.